we've done a Q&A. I put it out to the audience, like, have you got any questions for us?
What does Josh really like to work with?
What would be a dream guest for each of you?
Imagine if Louis Theroux came on. Man, I would be over the moon. What did I say? I said I'd suck your knob if you gave that a came out. It's not going to be dick related again.
No. Would you ever have an enema?
An enema?
Yeah.
I'm BeardMeatsFood.
And I'm just Gudgeon.
And welcome back to the Breaking Bread podcast. Normally I say this is where we, have guests and talk, but you probably know the deal by now.
It's weird you're wearing the same stuff as you wore last week.
Yeah.
Let's acknowledge that straight away. How are you doing this week?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was just going to take a sip of my second coffee of the day. Yeah, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Mate, I'm all right. It is nice to be back. I feel like that last episode we just recorded, let's acknowledge the fact we are wearing the same stuff.
We are, and I can guarantee you, cast iron guarantee you, that we are not going to mention dicks more than, a couple of times at most in this episode.
A couple of times. So for this, I've actually got quite an exciting, it's not exciting, it is an exciting episode. Like, maybe exciting is a bit strong of a word, but we've done a Q&A. I put it out to the audience, like, have you got any questions for us? Because I figured, it's supposed to be a community-based endeavour. A lot of people comment.
Nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A lot of people comment across multiple platforms. You know what it's like. It's hard to keep up with them. But we read every comment. And we figured, let's put it out to you guys, see what you've got to say. If you've got any burning questions for the little hairy man. But first, before we start doing the questions, I forgot to mention, obviously you've been away for a few weeks, haven't you? And we released the Jimmy Hill podcast, and we obviously did the Only Stands bit. Yeah. I watched that back and I were in stitches, but it was even funnier because I photoshopped that image. So we recorded the Jimmy Hill one probably before Christmas, didn't we? We just haven't released it.
Ages ago, because the studio was
different. We've got different muffs on the microphones, and you see we're talking about muffs this week. But I photoshopped that image fucking months ago, and it was so I was buzzing to finally get it out because it got the response I wanted. On Instagram, tons of likes, people commenting, pissing themselves. On Facebook,
did you see the one you said? The tagline I think was "Haters will say it's fake," right? And it was like a little version of me. And do you see one? Some guy had said. Might not be fake, but it's definitely a perspective thing. Like beards further from the camera or something. Nah, it's obviously it's not even a good Photoshop. But then I got my own back because I said you've shrunk me by 50% and my arms are still bigger than yours.
that comment of yours has got almost 1,000 likes.
Fucking ratioed, mate. That's what the kids say.
Yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, I just reminded me, I don't know why I just thought of it. And I'm like, it's so funny.
We need to get that made into a prop, the actual Only Stands thing with me on the top.
That'd be funny. Oh, I bet we can do that.
Probably.
We'll find a supplier. We'll find one that will get a cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was some good sort of photoshopping, but as well as finding the logo, I found a website where I could take the OnlyFans and just start changing the words. So it's good. I'm surprised Jimmy didn't invest though. He's gone quiet actually since then. It's weird. I thought I'd have got that £2 million.
We didn't sponsor the podcast, did he? Man, dude's rolling in it.
I know. Chocolate arseholes as well. That's the thing.
Is that my thing?
Yeah, that was your thing. Chocolate penises and bumholes, and I'm pretty sure you can get that.
I think I nicked that idea actually, subliminally, if not overtly. But we said we weren't going to talk about sexual organs on the podcast.
I didn't even mean to.
I thought it was a good one though, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we've put it out to you guys, the audience, to ask us some questions. Admittedly, probably a little bit late, but we've got plenty of responses. So we'll hand that over to you.
I've not seen these. I've not vetted these questions, but you've sent them to me.
Yeah. So we put it in on the Instagram story, and then actually put on Facebook. Go to the Instagram story if you want to submit a question, of which obviously somebody then went and submitted a question below that on Facebook. So maybe we'll take it into account later.
All right, okay.
But it was RTFQ.
So they're not just for me, they're for both of us, right?
Yeah. So probably mostly you though. You're the MVP.
Well, but not a lot of them.
I'm the other guy.
From what I've seen so far is that people are asking at least for some kind of communal answer. So this is, shall I say people's names as well?
Yeah, because we'll get George to ping them on screen.
Because one person's asked 3 questions. Are we letting him have 3? Is that all right? Or?
If you think so, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not the boss here.
Yeah, just
people think this ain't my podcast. I might just turn up. Right. Okay. Well, I'll start with Dan Drury, 94. Most unexpected part of being a successful content creator. Not really a question, is it? But I get what you're getting at there. I don't know. Most unexpected part. Do you want to answer that one first? Because you make content as well.
It's pretty subjective as the successful part. The most unexpected part, I think the most unexpected part is like when you see the finished, polished content online, whether it's something that I've produced on my channel, the podcast, what Beard's made, you see the tip of the iceberg. You see the polished like entertainment for 6 or 8 minutes, but you don't realize how much graft there is to get to that point, which is pretty boring. Like the amount of times just sat editing and just grinded to get even just an idea to try bring it to fruition and then bring it to life. Like you've got to love it because it's a boring process, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with that. I like editing, but it's monotonous, laborious at times. But yeah, I think for me, to answer that question, the most unexpected part to me is that people actually, I managed to earn a living from what I do. Because I still don't know why people watch my videos, which sounds like it's self-effacing. It's like, I don't know, falsely humble or something, but it's not to me. Like I genuinely, I can watch my videos objectively and think, I get why people entertain. I don't understand why so many people watch them. Like if you look at my average view count now, I've no idea. So that's the most unexpected, that people come back and watch. And because of that, I'm very thankful, and I get to do fun stuff, at least for this point in my life.
And that's what we were saying before we started rolling as well. Like the amount of people that are actually watching and listening to this podcast is very surprising.
Yeah.
Like we'd set no sort of target. We don't make any money from it. It's just we'd started doing it, and then we see now that like multiple thousands of people are both listening and watching, and you're like, well, that's actually it's impressive that it picked up traction. In the comments, again, that's why we're doing this Q&A. But the comments that people put, that is actually entertaining people, and people look forward to it, and they are listening to it on the way to work or from work, or
especially because the amount of times we leave the studio, I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about there? Like honestly, what was that? And then people enjoy it.
You're always slightly more pessimistic towards the recording, but you've got high standards as well.
I think that's just objectivity, because I think I know what people will find entertaining. I don't know that I know, but I think I know. And sometimes I think that's not really that fun, but it turns out to be. Next question.
Yep.
Discuss highlights and lowlights of YT career. That's Dan again.
You want to go first?
Yeah. Highlights for me are just, I couldn't say one specific thing. To me, it's just that, I mean, I often get when I got back from Atlanta, whatever, a few days ago, or if you've been watching the episodes, it seemed like it's a week ago. I got back and it's usually when, like, if I go out and film something and I'm driving back, and the sun's beaming down and I'm driving back on this empty road, and I just think there are worse things I could be doing in my life, especially when I used to hate my job. A lot of people know that if they've listened to this before. I used to hate my job, and I get to do something creative, which not a lot of people do, that I enjoy. So that to me is just a highlight, when you can have moments where you reflect and think, I'm very fortunate to be where I am. Admittedly, through a lot of hard work, but that's a highlight to me that I get to, because not many people in life get to do something they like as a job. It's uncommon. So to me, that's a highlight. There aren't really many low points. The only time I feel low, I think, is if I think I'm not satisfied with what I'm making, which is a lot of the time, actually. But if I think, like, for example, I think everyone probably felt low during the pandemic or the height of it. But when I was making videos I hated, I'm going to get 20 burgers and eat them. That's not fun to make.
In your kitchen.
Yeah. You can try and make it fun because you know it's a necessity. People want to see videos and you've got to pay the bills. But low points are when for me, when I'm not satisfied creatively with what I'm doing, I think it's contrived and it's pointless for me, even though people might still watch it.
Yeah. I think I'd be very similar. I mean, like I don't really have a YouTube career as such. Like that's not my full-time gig. I work on multiple channels with multiple creators, and I work for, like, I've got my own business creating content for businesses as well. But I guess like a highlight of it is the doors that YouTube has opened. So like working, like we wouldn't have met if it weren't for me creating YouTube content back in the day for another business, and you walked through the doors. So it's like open doors that would have never have sort of been there. Again, working on different channels, like I launched Ben's channel with him. When Ben approached me for his channel, it were a case of I could take everything that I'd learned over the last sort of 2 or 3 years on YouTube that I, picked up along the way from various other creators and sort of go, right, let's just put it on this one, see what happens. And then to see it come to life were amazing, like to see that thing fly in the first week, it got 1,000 subscribers, it got monetized, and then it's now sitting at nearly 70,000 subscribers and 6 million views. I think it's done in a year. That's cool to see that and go, fucking hell, we do know a little bit of something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no low lights. I guess same as you, man. Like every day we get to come in and you do what you actually enjoy doing. Like I'd hate to have a real job now. This is 10 times harder than if I were working for someone else, but I'd do this 10 days, 10 times over than work for someone else.
Yeah, we said that on the Mike, or maybe the Mike and the Jimmy Hill podcast. It is, you're prepared to put in more hard work when it's something that you do.
Yeah.
Even if in my circumstance it's something really daft. But for you, it's the same thing. You put in, if you need to make it work, but also you're prepared to work hard.
Yeah, you put the hours in that it takes. It's not a case of you're not clocking in at 9, checking out at 5. Like you make it work, man.
100%. Right. I think this is one for me predominantly. The username is 120617p. That's like a really evolved screen resolution. Like we've gone past 4K, we've gone past 8K, we're 12K now. Would you ever consider a beard versus subscriber series? Brackets, I've got no chance, with a laughy emoji. Probably not. Not a series anyway, because I think it's hard for me to even organize myself to film and stuff, to deliver 2 episodes a week. It sounds like it might be an easy thing, but it's something that takes some kind of planning. So to synchronize that with somebody else over a full series, I think would be difficult. Also, the thing that kind of bothers me about, quotes, collabs of any kind are, I like to keep them controlled in a sense that I don't know. I only really do videos with people I know well enough to know that we're like-minded, so there's going to be hopefully some kind of banter. We're going to look like chemistry, 2 mates, and they're not going to be like, if I do like a lottery, like a Twitter post saying, oh, somebody come and do a video with me, I could get Charles Manson, some dude that fucking skins hedgehogs or something. I don't know, like what do I know? I don't know. You could say something weird on the video. You could say something racist, God forbid, or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think I like to keep my videos, because it is my job, as controlled as possible. While at the same time, I'm not saying I would never do it. I think it would be fun to maybe do it one time, but I'd have to think about how best to implement. Yeah,
I think there's better circumstances for you to meet your subscribers, meet your fans. Do you know, like in a better, because I mean, we've said it before on the other podcast. Like it's not, when you make a video, like it's not really that impressive to watch, in a sense of like it's a dude eating for 20, 30 minutes. It's pretty boring. Like imagine watching anything for 20, 30 minutes. So I think you could meet your subscribers at a meet and greet, or like just passing in the street. We could do a live podcast one day and do like in a cinema or something like that. Would be a cool way to meet. Like you could, it's planned and you don't look like shit, and not, if after you've eaten, you're all bloated, you're fucked. Like
that's the worst. But I told you that story before, right? But when I did the poutine contest in 2019, there's like a line of people waiting. I'm like, oh fuck! And I was excited because I was so blown away. I thought it was a line for Matt. I told you before, Matt Stoney. And but I was blown away that all these people wanted to meet me. So that gave me a bit of a rush, I suppose, and that I avoided the fact that I felt fucking terrible. But when I got to like the 5th person in this line, I was like, I don't want to fucking puke on this person. I feel like I'm feeling really bad now. So yeah, but contests are generally, that's why one thing I miss about doing them is that's an environment. I know I'm going to be there. There's no like, might not be able to turn up because of this, or might not be. I'm definitely going for this contest, right? Yeah. And I'm going to be there afterwards. So people see me on stage, and that's cool if they want to see that. They're only watching me for 10 minutes, and it's going to be like high octane.
Yeah.
It's going to be entertaining. Yeah. Then afterwards, I can have a little chat with them or whatever. So that's generally the best environment, I think, to do it. That, or just a chance encounter in the street. Not because you never know how somebody's going to react to a camera. People don't know the production. We've gone into that before of how much goes into it. They're going to be eating cold food if they're going to be eating at the same time as me.
Like that reminded me. Obviously, I've been on your channel before. We did the pancakes in London. There was that guy that commented on it saying that basically you've ruined my life. Don't ever do that again. Don't put this fucking guy on your channel. Don't put anyone.
I have some issue. I like familiarity. Please don't invite anyone on your channel again. I was like, fucking shut up, man.
That's funny. I'm sure you'll see me again at some point, no doubt. That actually, onto a good point though. We have actually been approached previously about doing live podcasts. Obviously, it'd be a little bit more. It would be high octane. We'd make a show of it. So if it is something you'd probably maybe be interested in, it'd be in Leeds. It'd be in West Yorkshire. Drop a comment below on YouTube, and we can sort of gauge it. If only 3 people comment, we ain't doing it.
Yeah, well,
So-
people, to be fair though, people say, "Oh, you should do a meet and greet," you know.
Yeah.
And people have been telling me that for years, and I think I just don't have the. It's not that I don't want to do it. I can't imagine anyone. Even if I gave tickets away, I wouldn't charge anyone.
No.
But like, I can't imagine ever saying, "Oh, there are tickets available for this."
But you want
come and see me.
You want
Like,
some sort of like. That's why I think a live podcast, a live show would be good, because you sort of, it's like an event. So like we would create a show where we would have guests and we could talk to people, and it'd be like this but on steroids. But then not naturally,
you bring the steroids.
I'll bring the steroids. You bring Eddie Hall, and then naturally you can meet Adam afterwards, and I'll take the photos. I'll be like the guy just
After he's got squashed by
Thor. Yeah, man.
I hope
that's
Thor-
coming up. So is that this weekend?
I don't know if it's this weekend. I saw that video of them. Like, I don't want to dig people out and get involved in drama, but I saw them both like squaring up to each other and whatnot. I think Thor's going to absolutely marmalise him, and I'll be laughing when he does. I don't. Is it on TV? I assume
It'll be on it'll be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I'll pay for it.
I think that might be this weekend. You know.
You reckon?
Yeah. So
I think
as you're listening to this, it'll have been about 2 weeks ago. But you probably shouldn't talk about current events, should we?
eating my words. Yeah, I don't know, but
So yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah. So if you want to, if you do want that, comment below. It's like seriously, actually drop us a comment so we know.
that'd be a good way to do it, because like I said, the reason I wouldn't ever I've never thought about doing a meet and greet is I think it seems a bit egotistical for me to think that people would want to come and listen to me talk. So, but if we're doing a podcast, it kind of feels like there's something in place for it, right?
Yeah, like you said, they can get some popcorn. They can watch us chat shit for 45. I don't know. Like I think it'd be a pretty cool event. You know, like we haven't got much to lose.
Daniel Mason 298. Are you streaming on Spotify? Yes, I think. And has Mr. Beard got a free car?Maybe a yellow SVR. Is that like is that some kind of joke?
Is that from the Rate My Takeaway episode? Do you remember when he said that he got? I said to him, have you got a green Range Rover? Because it was like a myth around where we are.
Yeah.
Like Rate My Takeaway. It's like it's blown up. He's made it. He's got a green Range Rover. But then like now it's actually a yellow Range Rover.
No, I don't have a free car. Josh has got a free car though. I answered that one for you. But,
I haven't got a free car. I've got a business deal with another business.
Did you pay for this car?
It's just a deal.
Is it business? Is it a car that you pay money for, or do you have use of a car without actually having to shell anything out other than petrol insurance?
Yes.
The latter. It's free car if you ask me. I think that was covered. Joel Higgins, is Adam's stomach and taste buds still insured for £1 million, or is that complete bull? Joel, that was always complete bull. Actually, I didn't realize that at the time, but I used to do some like retainer work for a restaurant, which since closed. But I take pictures for them and whatnot, and do like the occasional video. And they said they were going to insure my. I don't even know how this would work, but they said they were going to insure my stomach for like £1 million or whatever. And I think they told me it had been done, and they told a newspaper, because it was reported in a newspaper. That's how people know about it.
Right.
But I never showed. I didn't see any premiums. I never saw any paperwork. So I think they probably just said it for a few views or whatever.
PR.
Yeah.
A publicity stunt.
And I don't know how you could if somebody was going to insure my stomach or insure anyone's stomach, they probably wouldn't insure a competitive eater stomach, because the chances of that actually something going wrong at some point is probably quite high. It's a bit like giving life insurance to somebody who smokes 70 a day.
Yeah, it costs a bit more, wouldn't it? Higher premium.
Yeah. So sorry, I don't think that was. It was nothing to do with me, but I don't think that was real.
Yeah, there you go. That answers that question. I've actually got I'll do the next one, because I know you keep pulling your phone.
Yeah, I'm getting like tennis elbow from pulling the fucking phone.
So this is from just Josh DJ. So we've read comments out from him before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
DJ.
I think he's one of Joe's mates. Joe designed the logo for this podcast. I'm pretty sure he's a pal of Joe's.
All right.
Are there more wheels or doors in the world? This is for the both of us.
That was going to be the next question on this list as well that you sent me.
It's funny that we've got the same list.
Is that like a common? Oh no, yeah, it's the same. That I've seen that going around. I watched an interview, like a brief interview with Luke Ayling, Leeds United right back. Somebody asked him the exact same question. He went into like a really detailed answer as to what he thought it was wheels. And his logic was as follows, which I thought was really quite insightful. Because my initial reaction would probably be doors. But he said, think about it. Like, technically, like a drawer counts as a door, right? You know, like if you're going to pull your pants, wherever you keep your pants. But they're on casters, aren't they? They're on wheels. So those count as wheels. And apparently Lego makes 318 million wheels a year. So it's got to be wheels. Think about it.
I don't think a drawer is a door, though.
Well, what else is it if it's not a door?
It's not a drawer is not a door.
Well, that was his.
I like the.
That was his thinking. He obviously put some serious thought into it.
I'd have gone the other. Like that's a very detailed explanation. I'd not really thought about it till this point, but I'd say that if you take your house, like your house for example, if the amount of doors that are in there, I would imagine there's maybe like. Oh, maybe no. That kind of fucks me a little bit. I was going to say, let's say there's like 5 doors in a house, but if there's 2 people in the house, there's 2 cars, and there's 4 wheels on a car and probably a spare wheel, so there's 10. So it's like an 8-to-10 ratio. So I'm thinking,
imagine the amount of bicycles as well.
Yeah.
There's that song, right? Katie Melua, 10 million bicycles in Beijing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if somebody and the Lego thing. If they make 318 million, even if they're toy wheels, probably counts, right? So
but Lego pieces have got doors on them as well, aren't they?
Yeah, but if they make nobody said they make 300 million doors a year. I think it's probably wheels, but I don't know.
Do you want to interject, George? Or do you have a preference?
I just don't know why you're looking at me because I've not got the answers.
All right.
You know why? Because Mike would have had them. That's why.
Rest in peace, Mike.
Rest in peace.
He's not actually dead.
He's got the COVID this week, actually.
So he might be dead.
Maybe. He's been the safest person. So, like, I know I got it a month ago, and he looked at me and he's like, still dodged it. I lasted 2 years. I thought I was invincible. I didn't think, like, what's going on here?
I still haven't had it, but I've got I think I have a superpowered immune system. I'd almost never get sick.
How were your? Did you enjoy the prostate exam I gave you last week?
Oh yeah,
see how like I'm mixing it all together, even if it's the same day. Next question.
Oh yeah, right. This is me. Oh, is this you?
I'll do this one. Dortrix has asked, what would be a dream guest for each of you?
I thought you were getting yours from a different source, but I'm realizing we just both got the same screenshot. A dream guest for each of you. I keep making the joke that I want Emma Watson to come on the show, but that's a bit pervy, so I won't say that. For me, it would be somebody. I don't know how entertaining it would be to people, but somebody like I don't know, like a real. We were talking about this before the podcast. Like a real, like a thinker, like a really like Noam Chomsky. You would have known that is Noam Chomsky or I don't know.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright would be a good one. Yeah, he actually liked that other podcast that I occasionally do. He had liked one of the tweets from that podcast. But Edgar Wright's a film director. If you don't know, I would love to have him on.
Maybe we could make that happen.
There's tons of people. I don't know if that's a dream guest, but there are tons of. Probably my dream guest actually would be like somebody I really, really, really look up to. Well, not look up to. I don't really look up to anyone, but respect. I don't know. You think about yours while I'm thinking.
For me, I think a cool one would be Ryan Reynolds would be good. You know, like Deadpool, because he seems like a really good character. Like I think he would have a laugh. I think it'd be quite fun. You know, it's an A-lister, but I think that'd be a fun.
I might be aiming a little too high.
It was a dream guest.
We think we're funny, but you think he would expose us for not being that funny because he is actually funny.
Yeah, we're not funny. And also Louis Theroux. I'd really like to speak to Louis Theroux.
Yeah, I can't. Did you message him?
Yeah, I've emailed him. I've emailed his team.
I that would be amazing, right? But I always think when I watch, because I love Louis Theroux documentaries, I could watch him all day long. I don't know what it is about him. I'd actually love to do that, like in later life. I'd love to do what he does, make documentaries about exposing certain things. I think I'd be all right at it.
I think you'd be really good. I think you'd be good at that. Maybe we can make that happen once your YouTube career's done and dusted.
But I always think, why has he not done a documentary on competitive eating? Because that's absolutely fucking ripe for what he does. It's full of psychos, full of absolute head cases, and it's a really weird thing. I think maybe it's passed him by, but I think he should do. It's probably hard now because I mean actual contests. I don't mean just people eating on YouTube. Nobody cares about that. But like to kind of see the major league eating scene. Yeah, I think people would find that insightful because it's proper weird.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good call. So yeah, I think I've sent some emails out to some high rising people.
Yeah, I think you went too hard too fast. I think we can barely get like small time guests in. I'd quite like to have not a dream guest, but I told you I've been watching. Justin Hawkins, right, from The Darkness. He's got a YouTube channel called Justin Hawkins Rides Again. I think he lives in Switzerland though, but it'd be cool to have him on because he seems like a really funny dude.
Why don't we just take it on the road? Like Because what I've been saying to guests is,
Justin, with two guys that you don't know, but can we come and visit you at your house?
what I've been saying to guests is, I've been like, if we have to, we'll come to you. Like,
You've got all the gear and the van.
we could take the gear. We're like,
Still got the van.
Still got the van, yeah.
Josh has like a really plush van. You could live in it.
Could do, wouldn't. I don't really get that culture of like Volkswagen, not Volkswagen, but just general camper vans. Like the camper van life for me.
For a short period of time, you could do it.
Nah.
No? I mean, I don't even like camping.
I don't like camping.
I hate camping, but I could.
I feel like it's like when we were to do all exercise with Royal Marines when we went through training, and it was just misery. It was just misery. And people that actively go camping on a weekend for pleasure, it blags my head. Like
Linz does that. She goes with her family to like one of those shitty little, like camper sands or something, like where you go and there's like the disgusting shower blocks.
Yeah.
No, but a van's different. I think for like if you said to me, right, we got to go see Louis Theroux in fucking wherever he lives, Essex, or something like that, or down in Plymouth, and you said, right, well, all the hotels are booked for the night. Would you stay over in a van for one night?
Like, yeah. But I think the convenience and the cost of like a Lenny Henry. Whatever it's called, Premier Inn for 50 quid.
Yeah, good point. We would stay in a hotel, but like if it came to it,
yeah, of course, I'd do that. I wouldn't stay in a tent. At least we know you can pitch a tent now, though. Last episode we spoke about Beard's dick not working, so if you missed that episode, go back and have a watch of it. So yeah, they're a couple of my dream guests.
Yeah, we didn't really answer the question though. I don't know what dream. Oh, actually, I tell you, it would be Conor Oberst, who is there's a band called Bright Eyes, who basically he is the band. I'd love to have him on because he's a super intelligent guy. It makes amazing music for me anyway. Like, but there's a lot of musicians. I really want to get. I don't know if we could have, but when I was away, Funeral for a Friend is like a British, post-hardcore, like a rock band that played in Leeds. Because I had tickets for it. I totally forgot I had tickets, and I booked to go away to Atlanta. And then when I was there, I was like, oh shit, man. But yeah, because they were in Leeds, it would have been cool to get them on, or one of them. Maybe Matt, the main guy. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Am I doing the next question?
Yeah, go for it.
MDuck 2020. MDuck. For Beard, if you could compete eating one last time, what would be your... Are you retiring me? Like, to be fair, I've not even though contests have started up again, I've not done any. I keep thinking about this sausage one in Texas, but... my final competition would probably be Nathan's, just because it'd be the best place to retire. 30,000 people in the crowd. It's not my favorite contest. My favorite contest I did was the poutine contest, just because I did really well, I think. But yeah, I'd probably retire. Like if they do Nathan's this year, and I'd go because I didn't get invited to the last one because of travel restrictions. But if they do it this year, I'd be tempted to just retire from contests, not from making videos. Because it is a lot of hard work to compete well at contests. But yeah, I'd probably Nathan's because it's the biggest contest.
Are there any, obviously apart from the sausage goblin one that you said you're going to do in Amsterdam at Red Light District, you're going to do that one, get that one done first, then is there any more in the season this year that you might?
Well, it's weird because before COVID, right, you had pretty much your marquee contest, which always happened, right? So there was always the oyster contest, which I really wanted to do this year. It's in New Orleans. Mrs. Beard loves it there. It's cheap, it's pretty cheap relatively to fly to. It's a nice city. But I don't think they're doing that this year. So a lot of the ones that did exist always at the same date every year don't now exist, right? So you're kind of relying on contests to be announced and do them. Like I think the Strawberry Shortcake one's happening. That's quite a small contest, so it's not as fun.
Yeah.
So I'll just kind of keep my eye. I don't want to do the sausage one really, because even though it's a good clickbaity title like sausage eating contest, purely because they're hard to eat. I'm like way out of practice because contest eating, people don't realize, is massively different to just filming a video. It's so different that I wouldn't want to go and just get trounced and come. I'm not scared of coming last, but I just think I'd want to go and like put up a good performance, and it's a hard food. Whereas I think if it was something like poutine or like the croqueta contest, they're far easier to eat. So even if you're bad, you can still perform quite well. So, but yeah, to answer that question, I'd probably retire at Nathan's if I could from contests in some like really elaborate way. Like I don't know, take off, get those pants that strip off and just reveal myself in like those Borat mankinis or something.
That'd be so funny. You need to do that now.
Yeah.
Can I just? I need to nip for a wee. We recorded one before. And
I could go for one actually.
You give me a litre of coffee and.
I know, man. Look how much fluid we've gone through.
Right. Transition. All right, we're back. Relieved.
You feel relieved now?
Yeah, I feel good. feel more
You
relaxed.
took way longer than me. I'd be like, quick sharp.
Yeah, but we're stood next to each other. You put me off a little bit. Across
I'm at an advantage though. I don't have a lampshade, so like I pee quicker.
For those that don't know what that means, I think Beard's alluded to the fact that he may be circumcised.
Yeah, I'm one of the. I'm not. I think I'm one of the. It's not typical, is it, in England?
And it's not like for religious reasons, because like obviously some
I
religions.
don't actually really know why. I should probably ask my mum that.
Yeah.
I think I had like some. Like this is getting. Why are we talking about dicks again?
You literally told everyone.
I know. I just kind of went onto it, but I think I had like an overly tight foreskin. Is that a thing? Like, and it caused me pain when I was a kid, so they just whipped it off. I'm quite glad though, because I think that it's better for hygiene and stuff. I think, and I think it looks nicer without.
A mate of mine had to have it done like when he were older, like later in life. Imagine how tough that would have been.
Yeah, but I bet the pain of it was probably.
No, yeah, but like you said, if you wake up in the morning and you pop a stitch, you know what I mean? Like if you're like in your early 20s,
yeah, didn't think about that.
That's gonna be a painful start to the morning.
Yeah,
man, this is a weird. Like these podcasts have been weird today, you know.
I don't know what it is.
Well, should we just get straight to another question and stop talking about your foreskin?
Yeah,
and your prostate exam. Right. So John Boy 2601 has asked. Do you have a plan B? So do you both have a plan B, i.e. after you have...
this fucking is plan B.
After the food has run its course and videography, what is next?
No, I don't have... This is plan B. I'm hoping we could... I said to Josh actually when we started this, I said like, if you can get me a salary of 20,000... We don't make any money from it right now, but like if there's any way that I could make 20 grand a year or even less, 16, whatever minimum wages these days, if I could make that from this podcast, that's my plan B. Other than that, no, not really.
Yeah, fair one. I think like this is the plan B. If anything, the podcast genuinely is plan B. Like plan A, we're kind of doing plan A. You're making videos on YouTube. I'm making videos everywhere. This is our like. It's a bit of a long term podcast. They don't get big overnight, and we're doing it because we enjoy it. And if it one day supplements a wage or even takes over to become a wage that we can pay as mortgage with, that's a good day. It's a good day.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's already plan B. Like. This is it. We're doing it.
Yeah, the other plan B is the one that I mentioned 8 minutes ago when I said I could go make documentaries. I don't really have a face for TV though, and I don't really like TV work, and in fact I hate it. So maybe not. I don't know.
I think it'd be quite I think documentary, like a 30-minute or an hour documentary making like that on a subject, would be quite a cool process because there'd be so much work that goes into like the planning and the research, and then to get into the sort of development stage. Shooting it.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be a cool process.
I think it'd be. Yeah, I would really love to do it. I don't know that I would have. We mentioned Louis Theroux. I don't know that I'd have that ability to kind of be quite as impartial, even though he has those moments where he challenges a person's view.
Yeah.
I think I'd just lose it a bit. Like when he went to see that Westboro Baptist Church a few times, I'd be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You're a fucking head case." You can't really do that, can you? In documentaries.
Yeah, you'd have to be. Maybe not. Maybe you could be. You could be like. But again. You want to remain impartial so that the audience make a decision. Yeah. Whereas, like, if you're offering your opinion up, then they're going to have an opinion of you and not the subject. So yeah.
I think I could be impartial, but I mean, piss in the wind. I don't think I'll ever get the opportunity to do it, but I think it'll be fun.
We'll fund it ourselves. We'll do it ourselves. Right. Do you want to ask the next question? You want to get up on your list?
Yeah. Sorry, mate. What is Josh really like to work with? That's Taylor John Miller.
Yeah.
I feel like I should make a bit of a gag, but no, he's a blast. Like there's a lot of stuff that I do. Not that I couldn't do without, but a lot. Like see the music video that I did, especially Garlic Bread one, the first one, which was really one of people laugh, but that was one of the accomplishments of my life. I couldn't have done that without the video without Josh, and it's good. Doing this podcast with him is great. Said that like staring deep into your eyes, having a bit of a moment here. George, put some music, like some romantic music over the top. Like, what's that song?
I'll just leave the room, leave you two to it.
I can't hold it much longer.
It's been a good run, hasn't it, so far?
Yeah, it's good because Josh is actually a videographer. So if I ever need anything doing, which it errs more towards, it needs more professional production, I call Josh.
Yeah, like I mean, what's Josh to work with? We don't really work together, do we? Like it's all like all these projects are just like. They're all for fun, really, aren't they? It's not a
passion project shit. Yeah. I think I could like totally like somebody mentioned Plan B. I don't know who asked that question, but like if things really come to it, I'll just ask Josh for a job come on here, like, sack George, and I'll do the editing.
I've said that. Like people have asked me, like, because when people think you just eat for food and that, and I'm like, no, he's a very talented videographer. Like if you had to make professional videos for marketing, you could do it.
I could do a bit of editing for you.
You've got the skills.
I might come to you for. I'm not even joking. I might actually come to you for a job.
Callum Kitchen 206. Right. Now that restrictions have pretty much gone, do you guys have any goals for 2022?
I don't really set goals per se. I think for me, this year is going to be all about traveling, doing as many food challenges not in England as possible. Not because I don't like England, but because that was what I promised in 2020 before the whole COVID thing kicked off. Because I know that's what you only have to look at the views. That content is what people like the most. And the only way I can repay people, I think, for watching what I do is to try and make the best videos possible, meaning that, to me, it makes the most sense to do stuff that people like to see. So just travel as much as possible and do as many in North America, which is a big, if you think about the amount of food challenges they have per square mile over there is a great many. So just to keep making videos and keep getting better at videos, because people, it's not something you just are accomplished at and stick at that point. You always try and think of ways you can make videos better. So that, and just make videos people like watching, I guess.
Yeah, I think for me, I've actually cut back because when COVID hit, it was such a job's fucked. Like I pretty much only just started out in business maybe for like a year, maybe I were in for a year. So like you just, you don't even know what you're doing. So like the last sort of 2 years have been a fucking grind. So like I've grafted my tits off to try to get us to like, somewhat have a sustainable income, and then having staff on top of that. Like that's a lot of pressure on your shoulders, especially through like the turbulent last 2 years. I don't get a violin out or all because people had it way worse, but that takes its toll. So for me this year, like, we had a baby last year. I've cut back so much on work. I'm just trying to do passion projects and do just enough work so that everyone gets paid. That's it. So like for me, I've put my foot on the brakes massively from a sense of like sort of driving business and trying to make as much money as possible. I've like gone, right, let's take a chill now and concentrate on stuff that I want to do. I want to be home on a morning and evening with the missus and kid, and I want to...
So you can drop the baby off the bed again.
It happened again. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, off the sofa. She knows how to get, like, she's 1 year old, but she knows how to get off the sofa now. But then there was just one time that on my watch again, she chose not to do the way that we taught her and went head first. And I sort of like, she went and I caught her and like her head's there like that. I'm like, oh, and then just sort of flipped her so she landed on her back and they started crying. And then I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's what terrifies me about having kids, man. It happens all the time. You see them fall. I can't, when kids fall over and they hurt themselves, I hate that.
They're sturdy, like she's sturdy now. They do bounce,
They do bounce.
She's sturdy. But yeah, so that's me, man. Like this is my concentrate on this. The podcast, like there's so much work that goes into this just to get the show out.
Yeah.
Each week we've mentioned it. Did we mention it on this podcast, a live podcast? Anyway.
Yeah.
There's so much work to just get it to the point of so you guys can listen to it, because there's all the clips, there's all the clips channel, there's the TikToks. Obviously, it takes more than just me. It takes George.
Is it on TikTok?
Well, it's Reels. We have got a TikTok, but I ain't uploaded on it. I need to give. You're gonna have to be in charge of. You're gonna have to be in charge of that.
Delete that account.
We have actually got a TikTok.
TikTok.
The Reels are doing well. So yeah, that's my plan is get this thing going.
Get some top class guests on. Imagine if Louis Theroux came on. Man, I would be over the moon. What did I say? I said I'd suck your knob if you gave that.
Put that screenshot on the video, George. He literally put, I put a list of the people I've invited, and you said, I would suck your knob.
And I said, and I hope it happens. I think that's a line from Wolf of Wall Street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Am I doing the next question?
Yeah.
This it's a bit of a drama one. Benji T, is there anyone in the competitive eating / podcast world that grinds your gears? No, not really. I mean, I don't get wound up by people that much, do I?
Yeah, you do actually.
I mean, I do but not by people, public figures or anything, or people that eat food or whatever. Especially like most of the people that I'm aware of and watch are my friends in the eating space. So I don't really get. The only thing that I think it winds me up a bit as I get older is the kind of, there is a bit of sometimes egotism in it, you know, where people be like, oh, look how much I can eat, or look how quick I can eat. It's like, man, it's to me, it's a little bit, it's kind of embarrassing for that to be the only thing. Like if you're Joey Chestnut or something, you're the best in the world at it. It's all right. I'm not going to. But the weird thing is, I think in the competitive eating world, people that are actually in Major League Eating and do contests, all the people in there in the top 20 are really humble. None of them really talk themselves up because they know that it only matters when it comes to game. A bit like an athlete would. I bet you don't go into a changing room with Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's saying like how good he is. He doesn't have to because he just proves it out there. Yeah. And I think there's a bit of a these days, especially, I see people send me links and whatnot to people's channels. Oh, look how much I'm eating today. Look how. And it's like, nobody really gives a shit, you know. Especially if you're not if you don't compete. Like if you're going to talk about like how good you are at competitive eating, and you're not signed with Major League Eating, like what the fuck are you doing? You know, like that's like me saying I could do 1,000 kick-ups. I'm better than Messi. You know, it's apples and oranges. You know, but there's nobody in particular. It's just kind of a pervasive, sometimes a pervasive egotism in there.
Yeah, I wish that we could say that X person in the podcasting or eating world, you know, just to drum up a bit of drama, but like that's just bad energy. You know, I'm not like that woo-woo sort of type, but like if you're concentrating on somebody else or somebody else's shit to try and, you know, pull them down or whatever, like that's just some bad energy for you. Like you want to be sort of concentrating on your own shit, and like everyone's got their own things going on. Let them do whatever they want to do. I
think that's an age thing as well. Like maybe if we were younger, we'd be like, oh yeah, this guy, like.
Yeah, trying to drum up some like fake drama to get some.
I hate those channels as well. Like if you see it on YouTube a lot, like people that create content by either insulting other people or drawing other people into debates. Mike was talking about, wasn't he? About some guy wants a live debate him. What's the point? You're not going to change people's views.
It's funny. I mean, like we've met like through this game, we've met a lot of successful people like Jackmate and Stevie and them, like, you know, like that's the I messaging Stevie the other day because they have agreed to come up, just try to get the diaries lined up, but they've sort of stepped up another level now. Like I think they're like in proper A-lister, like it's the biggest show in the UK. They're obviously a Spotify exclusive, and they've got the biggest guests.
Had Rob Brydon on, didn't they?
Rob Brydon. They've had the UFC guy. Michael Bisping, and they had somebody else as well before that. Again, like Johnny Knoxville, like proper A-listers. Like you could, there's two ways you could look at that. I guess if I mean, we can't even say we compete. We don't compete at all. Like it was two completely different podcasts, and they're like miles ahead of us. But if we tried to take some bad energy from that, like hating on them because they've got fucking Johnny Knoxville, like we just look like a pair of pricks. Like what good could come of that?
I don't know why you would do that anyway. It's a waste of your time, right? It's like you say, concentrate on your own stuff. Especially you get to my age. Once you top over 30, if you've got an IQ of 3 digits or more, well, not more, you wouldn't have a 4-digit IQ. But if you're a reasonably intelligent bloke, you realise that, you know, life's short. Why would you spend it like hating people?
I think it's motivating. Like it's inspiring to see that everyone, you know, things can be done. You can see people like Rogan, for example. You can see it can be done, but he's put the hours in. He's put the 10,000 hours in. You know, like they've put the years and years of grafting, and they're there at the top of the tree. So good for them, man. If we pave that path and we get somewhere close, we can try.
I don't know anyone else in the podcast world either to say that I've
George, you rate the Geordie Shaw dude. Geordie Shaw. I think this last time, Big Geordie. Yeah.
Geordie Shaw.
Geordie Shaw.
True Geordie.
True Geordie.
Yeah, people say his name to me a lot. Like they'll quote his names, and I've never actually seen one of his shows. I assume he is a Geordie, right?
Yeah. I've not seen.
Class.
You're a big fan, aren't you?
Yeah, class.
And I'm trying to actively watch and listen to other people's podcasts just to, you know, figure the game out. But I haven't seen much of his stuff.
No, nobody really grinds my gears.
That were a boring answer. I mean, maybe it might inspire people to just chill the fuck out.
That's the thing, though. Is my point. I am boring, and there's nothing particularly entertaining about me. I'm not going to say, I fucking hate this guy.
Right. So the next question is from the Caffeine Crusade. Would Beard rather every challenge had mushrooms or a colander of chips?
Depends on the size of the colander. No, mushrooms. Just because I find them hard to digest. People know that, but they're lower in calories by a mile, right? So even just purely for that reason, and they're easier to eat, even though they don't taste good.
Yeah,
they're sloppy, aren't they? Just neck them. So yeah, that's an easy one. Mushrooms.
That's the weirdest thing I find about, you know, when I watch you do your eating challenges, is like how you itemize the food rather than try and make like a combination of. Is that just a technique? Or like, and you leave the worst to last, like you do this massive meal. I don't know, like if I were doing a huge meal, I'd thought I'll eat the shittest thing worst because at the end I'm definitely not going to want to eat that. Whereas like you go the opposite way. You're like, oh, this is really nice.
Yeah, I think the whole like doing things. I've changed a little bit from that, but yeah, you're right. I do like one item at a time usually, and that's normally just to keep it interesting. Like especially if it's going to be something hard, like something that I think might be difficult.
Yeah.
Like the flavor of something that rather than just mixing everything together, like eggs with some toast. So like if I do a breakfast, I'll almost always make sandwiches out of stuff. I won't just eat the toast dry at the end.
Yeah.
Leaving the bad stuff to the end is just kind of like for me, it's like I've not eaten for like 24 hours or more, so I don't really want to go in and just eat like mushrooms first or whatever. I think I'm just not going to really enjoy it. And I think if they're harder at the end, it will make the video more entertaining. So it's more like people don't think about
That's
like,
so much depth of thought.
I know, but like that's people. I think that people don't like when I sit down to film a video. The last thing on my mind is A, enjoying the food. B, how quick I can do it. What I'm thinking of is, all right, where is the commentary going to fit in? What am I going to talk about? Where do I take breaks? I don't like, people probably don't know that, but like I said to you, let's just eat for a minute before we say anything, because then I know I can do an introduction with the commentary and stuff like that. So at the end, I think, well, all right, I'm going to do the fries at the end because I'm not going to talk about them. There's going to be a ton of them, so I can time lapse that 1 minute of me eating the fries, which I can't really do at the beginning because there's more stuff like that.
That's some depth. That's some gold dust. If you're an eating YouTube channel and you're trying to get some tips from an OG, that's some gold right there.
OG. It is something. That's the thing.
It's
like,
true.
You see people line up and they just go, "Oh, I'm just going to eat."
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's ostensibly no difference between 4 years ago me eating this and now me eating the same thing. The difference is the video's going to be way better because not only is it going to be more professionally produced, there's going to be more dynamism. The pace is going to be better because I've thought, okay, I'm going to eat this at this time. And that's why it winds me up a bit when people are like, oh, you could have done that quick if you stopped talking. So, yeah, but then what's the point of the video? You know what I mean? Like,
right. So last one on these pages, we've got actually quite a few more. Assad 59155 maybe that's his like mobile number or his WhatsApp or something. Right, Adam or even Josh, so I'm assuming him for you. How do you find balance between your physical health and your I'm assuming it's psychological health?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Thank you.
That's a great question,
I think
Assad.
so. Assad,
Thanks,
yeah.
man. That's a really good one. I suppose that's just like a question. I don't know how to answer that. I'll be honest. Physical discipline, like I don't think physical health and mental health are mutually exclusive. There's a link between the two. So I think, for example, I know that I'm really, really cranky if I go like say I have 3 days where I'm eating like 500 calories or something. On that third day, I'm gonna feel like shit, and I'm probably gonna be less fun to be around. And I don't know. I don't want to say I'll be depressed isn't the word, but I'll be more concerned with mental difficulty, I think, because I'll just have more time to think about. I'll just be in a negative state of mind. So I think for me, it's just, I don't know, it's a question of discipline, perspective, you know, for me. Like, I think I am physically healthy. A lot of people think I take a really good care of my body, you know. And with that, I think comes mental health, I think. Not always, but I think there's a degree. A lot of people don't realize, even stuff like your diet and, what micronutrients you might be missing and stuff like that has an effect on the way you feel, which can then make, if you're prone to, I don't know, episodes of depression or whatever, if you're not eating right, that can have an effect on that for sure. So that's the best answer I can give, I think. I don't know. That's a bit washy, but.
No, I think that's fair cop. I'd be inclined to agree with you. I think it's, like I know my physical health has got a direct impact on my, like the way that I feel. So like I know that if I train, that causes me to drink more water, which causes me to be hydrated, which gives me like, I feel like I can function at a higher level. Whereas like, and I'm like, I'm on or off when I'm training. So like I'm currently injured, so I've not trained for a week and I feel like shit.
Was that because I suplexed you last week?
But yeah, like, I think you've got, if you can consciously, I know like of a winter, I wasn't training as much. It was great, man. I remember sat there going, fucking hell, I can't be arsed with this. Like, everything's just became a bit of a chore.
Yeah.
And I had to put it into perspective and consciously go, I need to go back to the gym, get a routine, train, drink water, not eat like a twat, eat some fruit or vegetables and consciously just try and get some discipline back. And naturally it all follows suit. You know, your mental and your physical start to align. And I think, it sounds like it sounds simple, but it's hard to get the gears turning. So when we spoke about the like why is beard not fat, that episode, we were very sort of like clinical, like this is how you do it. But to put it into practice is a lot more difficult.
Different question, isn't it? But as a caveat as well, like if you actually have serious medical mental problems, that's not going to be solved by eating well and going to the gym. Go see a doctor, you know. But like, yeah, for me, it's not. It's just a question of perspective, I think, and
and like,
for me, being busy really helps me.
Yeah,
like I'm not in a really good mood now because I've slept one day's worth of sleep in, I don't know, 2.5 days. But if I'm busy, I know my mental well-being is good because I've got purpose.
Yeah,
I think the worst for me is like if I go a few days and I've not. It's rare that I don't have anything to do, but if those days happen, I'm itching to do something, you know, which is why this podcast is good because it gets me out of the house.
I was about to say that like this podcast is an example. Like if you can listen to podcasts that get your mental muscles flowing, if you're not an actual podcaster, but if you can listen to them, that gets the mental juices flowing. Like it's like exercising your brain. You know, you are exercising your bandwidth of knowledge across whatever sector or you want to learn from. And it's the same with this. Like it's quite a therapeutic thing to be able to create content like this. It's really raw. The art of conversation is lost in it. Like I think it's a good thing to be able to just sit down with somebody like a mate or whatever. Like, go chat to your pals. It's whoever, like try to see how deep you can get into a conversation as opposed to just like top level. How you doing? You all right? Yeah, I'm all right. You watch footy? Yeah, all right. Yeah. Fucking some dude from Leeds has scored a goal or Leeds have gone down. Then you're going to be sad. If you're
I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, but you're a bit of a Leeds fan as well.
I'm my second. Speaking of which, since I went, that Bielsa's been fucking fired.
Oh yeah,
or left back at the man. That's terrible news. Anyway, it was like when Wenger left Arsenal, man, I was devastated.
I thought you were about the Wenger boys. What a tune. But so yeah, answer the question. Just get that mental juices flowing. And obviously, if you have got mental health problems, you know, speak to professionals about it.
Yeah.
Check out like Ben's channel. He talks a lot about mental health and mental well-being, and there's a lot of stuff on there. So yeah. Next question. So we're on YouTube now. We've put it across multiple platforms.
Oh right, okay.
Rum O'Clock. I like that. That's a sailor's channel.
Rum's my alcohol of choice as well. I don't drink much, right? But if I'm not gonna have a beer, I can only drink beer for so long. If I do drink,
when we were in London, you tanked a few after the mojitos, didn't you? You had a few rums,
a few spiced rums,
Rum O'Clock,
a bit of Kraken or something. Cost like fucking 12 quid.
What's your favourite non-breakfast item to eat in a challenge? He said, "Hey, both," but like I don't do challenges, so this is all you, man. What's your favourite non-breakfast item to eat in a challenge? I've just seen another question.
That's really tough to eat in like because to me, like what makes a challenge fun, like from filming a video, is if it's something new or different. But typically food challenges, breakfast, pizza, burgers, it's always the same. But I think pancakes are always pretty good because they're really easy to eat. I'm like a bit of a carb fiend, so people know that, or you typically know that, like if I'm going to eat a lot of something, carbohydrates, people think like, bread's difficult to eat and stuff like that, or something doughy is difficult to eat. It's not. It's really easy for your body to process compared to, say, meat.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe pancakes, I'd say, because they're just really simple to eat, and it's not hard work to get them down usually.
If we did that pancake challenge, like we need to do another challenge, like a team challenge or whatever. Because like if I could have picked anything, like that wouldn't have been like, I don't really like. I'm not that arsed about pancakes. I'm not that arsed about cream.
I feel like that you can only get. I feel like that's like a high moment for you though, because you did really well. You could almost wanted to see you kind of push and like almost risk puking to actually see if you could win, because you only had a few mouthfuls left.
There were a lot of cream left. I like it.
Yeah, but cream's just. It's like air, man.
That's going from you. You're a professional.
Yeah, but it's not hard to eat, is it? But yeah, we'll do another one for sure.
There's that we said about a pizza challenge, didn't we? There's a pizza challenge locally that's like the biggest pizza in the UK.
Yeah, they only just do it on weird days, don't they?
Cool.
I need to look it up. They'll see if they're still doing
a breakfast chat. I'd really like to do I don't know if I do well or not, but I enjoy like breakfast food, so I think that'd be quite cool.
Like an English breakfast.
Yeah.
Fry up.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many breakfast challenges. They're always popping up as well. There must be 100 in England, so we could probably do one of those for sure.
But like you said, I had a good run there. Like it were all right. The next question is from on YouTube. Dave Hilton.
It's not going to be dick related again. Is it?
No, but would you ever have an enema?
An enema?
Yeah.
For fun or for like a reason?
That's the question. You read into that whatever you want.
Yeah, if I needed to. I mean, I've had like suppositories before anyway. Like, medicine up your ass.
All right.
When I was younger or whatever. But yeah, I'm not that kind of prudish that I don't want anything in my ass. Like,
what is an enema?
It's like
is that where like the flush?
A suppository, right? Like something that goes up your, normally like a bullet-shaped thing that goes in your ass.
I thought that one where the water goes in and it's like it takes all of your shit out, shit.
That's colonic irrigation. No, I totally have that though. I don't know how useful it'd be. I mean, I have a high fiber diet, so I don't really need it.
An enema involves inserting liquid or gas into the rectum, which is the lower part of the large intestine.
Oh, liquid or gas? So I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was thinking a suppository. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be averse to it. I don't think I wouldn't elect to say, oh yeah, just give me a bit of gas in the arse.
They did it on Jackass, didn't they? I'm sure he put like a tube up his ass with water in it or Coke or...
This podcast, man.
I'm pretty sure, right? You ever seen them like survival programs on Discovery? Somebody can confirm this in the comments. But I'm pretty sure somebody that got like lost at sea. You can't drink. So imagine if you get stuck at sea, you're on a boat and you've got no fresh water. You can't drink seawater because it's full of salt. Right, yeah. But I'm sure I saw that a guy that gave himself an enema with seawater because it can pull the salt out of it, but then you can hydrate yourself.
Come on now, I'm with George now. Where's this going?
Hey, these are just the questions we get asked.
Yeah, but I would not electively. I wouldn't be if my doctor says you got to have one. Yeah.
Weirdly, some account called Cheese has asked, are there more doors or more wheels in the world? We've already answered that one.
Wheels for sure.
Rob Bostock, what's your favourite guest so far? And then, like, who would be your ultimate guest, dead or alive? So we've already said, but dead or alive is a little bit different. So we'll go for your favourite guest so far.
I feel kind of like bad though for.
You've got to say Mrs. Beard, you fucked.
No, I'm not saying Mrs. Beard. She wasn't even going to be in the considerate. I think. Oh man, I've enjoyed all of them really. I'm going to say Mike just because I didn't really have to say much.
Yeah,
I just sat here and listened to him, and he's an interesting. And what he does is interesting, I think. And there's some similarities in that what he does is entertainment, but there's like a purpose behind what he does, and he's obviously super successful as well. But then I really like the one with Honor as well.
Yeah.
Just because I don't like's probably not the word, but like that was insightful for different reasons. Yeah. But I probably, I'll say Mike just because it's the most recent one in memory.
Yeah, I think for me, it's tough. It is tough. Like Honors were amazing. Like his story, like you didn't really know what to expect. I've known Honor. A lot of these guests I've known for quite a long time. So for me, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I do a lot. I obviously do like the prep work, so I kind of know where we're going to steer the conversation. But I actually really enjoyed Ben Pearson coming on just to sort of merge them two worlds. Because obviously you'd never met him,
no,
but I work with him regularly for his channel, and to sort of bring it all into one place, it got a good reaction from the audience. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed Rate My Takeaways because again, I'd just done the Christmas video for Rate My Takeaway. We're just about to do yours. So
I've not even thought about that. That just didn't pop into my head. Don't know why.
So it's tough to. Didn't
he just open a fucking takeaway or something? I saw a news article this morning like he's opened his own thing.
Has he?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. I think that I'm certain that happened. I saw it somewhere. I'm not gonna be able to find it again. But I think he opened his own take. There was a article somewhere, rambling a bit. But
let's have a quick search. I can't see any. Where do you see it on Twitter?
Click on news. I think it was on Facebook. I think. But
yeah.
Yeah, but it was reported by like some rag, Leeds Live.
It literally is Leeds Live.
Is it?
Danny Mallin opens his own takeaway in Leeds after being wowed by friends' burgers. Hey?
Well, just nicked his friends' burgers and used them at his own restaurant. That's what that implies.
He's opened a restaurant called Brody's in Pudsey with his friend Ashley Steele.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Good for him, man. We'll go check out his burger. Oh, yeah, fair play.
I feel like that you probably would maybe choose a different name. Just to kind of capitalise it and call it Rate. You couldn't call it Rate My Takeaway, but
we'll. I'll drop him a line and find out the story. We can bring it up on another podcast.
That's a great idea for another contrived little clip. Try and rate my takeaway's takeaway. Get some food in on. We can't slander it then though and say, this is terrible.
No, yeah, we've got to look after it. But yeah, you were a good guest. The second part of it, dead or alive guests, go.
Oh man, that's a really tough one. I think because feel like I want to say Jesus Christ. I don't know. Just because of the views. Imagine the views, man. And I look a bit like him. No, some wild historical figure. Have you got one while I'm thinking?
Just off the top of my head, I think Meatloaf would have been cool just because of his career, like how sort of transformative it was for his music, and then as well as his acting career and just everything that he did as an artist. I think that'd be a really cool guest. Right.
I've just gone back to this. Is kind of comes in the same bracket. But you know that we were asked the dream guest before because this person's not dead, as far as I know. They're retired. Daniel Day-Lewis. I would probably pay 20 grand out of Get Your Media's budget to get him on. That'd be because he's the best actor ever for me.
Yeah,
by a mile. And he's just such an interesting guy. You know, he kind of briefly, he's retired from acting now, but you know, he briefly quit and went off to make clogs in Italy. That's something I'd do. You know, I just thought, fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore.
That's such an arty thing to do, isn't it? That.
But live I did. Martin Luther King, because we were just talking about him a second ago, because I went to visit those historical gardens and whatnot. Just, I think for me, it wouldn't be somebody who's just famous or does something which is just kind of creative play, like acting, because acting and music and all that stuff are really important. I think that, for me anyway. But I think I'd want, if I was going to speak to somebody in a conversation, I'd want somebody who's done something amazing. So yeah, maybe like Martin Luther King or some other kind of humanitarian. Don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Like it. Right. So Ira Lawton, this is again on YouTube. This one's mainly for Adam, but Josh can answer the second half. There's a few questions in this. What specifically got you into competitive eating? Was there a time and a place you especially remember when you came across the idea? And do you think Josh comments on your lack of height because he secretly feels inferior to your oversized eating? And then the last bit, do you have any regrets in life? And if you do, what would you change?
Oof, that's a tough one.
That was a lot of. There were a few questions.
It's like a question time. You know when you watch Question Time and they ask these really long, rambly questions so I can get so. I like it though. In terms of I think I've talked about this before, but in terms of actually getting into, are you checking we're still rolling?
Just checking batteries actually.
We're good or no?
That one's looking a bit. All
right, well, I'll try and be
hairy.
I'll try and be quick then.
Yeah.
Yes. In terms of how I got into competitive eating, I talked about it before, but it wasn't really like I didn't know competitive eating exists because to me, competitive eating isn't eating food on YouTube. It's like doing contests and stuff. Yeah. I only became aware that those existed after I started doing a couple of food challenges, met a couple of other people in the space, and started making videos. And then I did a couple of kind of events and stuff like that. So there wasn't a point where I thought I am going to become a competitive eater. You know, I fell into it. You know. And I've said before, it's a bit like when I did food challenges. It's kind of like if Josh, if you woke up tomorrow and you were good at something nobody gives a shit about, like lacrosse or ping pong. I'm sure like those.
I'm very good at ping pong.
Yeah,
yeah.
Right. Well, there you go. Like, and if you then discovered that there was an elite environment where you could win trophies, compete. I mean, I don't know who the world champs are at those sports, but I imagine it takes a lot of dedication. Yeah. They probably just do it out of love competition. So that's how it evolved. What was the second part?
You don't sweat it, man. If we lose that camera we've got wide, we'll be all right.
All right, cool. What was the second part?
Time you especially remember when you came across the idea.
Oh, you and the height thing?
Oh, yeah. Do you think my comments on your lack of height is because I secretly feel inferior to your oversized eating?
I would I'd let's say laugh and say, yeah, no, I think it's just because we're mates and you just take the piss out of your friends, don't you? I always call you... Ginger, which isn't really a piss take because you're ginger, but I think it's just that you don't like being called ginger.
Skinny and lanky.
Yeah.
Small arms.
Yeah.
Massive willy.
Yeah. And what was the last part?
Do you have any regrets in life? And if you do, what would you change?
That's tough. That's really a tough one. By and large, no, I don't have time for regrets in life. I think you things that you regret usually are learning experiences. You know, things that you failed at that you then take as a lesson. That's life.
Yeah.
One thing I do regret is before my dad died, is not spending more time with my dad and my attitude towards thinking that he was going to be all right. Because people don't know my dad had a stroke, like a really bad stroke, and then fucking lingered on for like 8 months, and then eventually went. But it was, you know, he was in a wheelchair. Like to my dad as well, who was super active, played sports, played golf 4 times a week, always out socializing, to then be bedridden and stuff. And I think because I was very, very focused at this point in time of my career or what I was doing, I think I didn't. If I could go back and do that differently, I would. But that's probably the only thing in my life that I would do differently.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine what that was like. And I think that's probably when people lose people close to them, that's always the case, isn't it? Like they always would say, I wish I'd have spent more time, even if you spent, and I'm sure you spent bags of time with him, you know, you always want that one last opportunity. That's life, innit? I think that's where, like, when you say about doing jobs like this or doing whatever, you personally, you do what you want to do in life as to the best of your ability. So you want that freedom to pursue a career or pursue just your passions. Like that's it's a privilege, isn't it?
Yeah.
And life's all about balance. And I don't think we'll ever find balance across personal, professional. Like it's a tough thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's, as well, to get to my age and not only really have that as what you one major regret, I think it's kind of a good thing. Because people dwell on things, I think, too much, things that they should have done, shouldn't have done. And I think if you hadn't done this or hadn't done that, then maybe, you know, you wouldn't be what you are now, you know, butterfly effect and all that.
Yeah, that whole failing thing, it's like, I like that John Kavanagh quote, you know, that, like win or learn, you know, like there's no real failing. It's just learn or, you know, you're winning. There's a couple, I put it out as like a last chance as well on our Instagram. So there were a couple more that came in. So, right. Family, heart, fun food. Mushrooms aside, what would be the worst food challenge for you?
Something spicy, something like brutally spicy. That's quite an easy one. I hate spicy food, so like that would be the worst by a mile.
Mr. Reviewdle, he's put 2 things in. He's put, any chance, we can have a bit of an education here. Any chance you could shout out my page, just started out and been a long-time follower of Adam's work. And then his second actual question was, what's your favourite noodles? So the first part, we actually mentioned this on one of the earlier podcasts. We talked about like collaborating and how it really doesn't work. Like they're shouting out pages and like that. We could say, everyone go follow Mr. Reviewdle, but like our influence is very, very limited. Like people are not going to listen.
Yeah, we could deliver a bit of a not in an aloof way, but a bit of a lesson here. What's the name of the channel? Mr. Reviewdle.
Mr. Reviewdle on Instagram.
Right, so Mr. Reviewdle, right? So everyone go and check out Mr. Reviewdle's channel, Instagram page, or whatever it is. And that will teach you that really that won't help, you know? Like the amount of people that have over the years, friends as well, like ask me for shout outs for this and that. And it's not that people don't want to do them. It's because what I know is that that's not going to transfer to you. There's so many things, there's so many variables there that people might not be interested in what you do. Like if somebody with a knitting channel says, "Oh, will you give me a shout out?" People might go and look at it, but they're not going to go subscribe to it, you know? The most important thing I would say is just, if you got a channel or whatever it is you do, just spend, you know, time just trying to grow your own audience and do it consistently over years. And that's the best that you can do. Shout outs aren't going to help you. I could get a shout out tomorrow from Mr. I've been on fucking Mr. Beast's reaction channel. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it's just a case of, because it's so, like the audiences are so niche that they don't transfer over. Like, it's however, he is in the food niche and he's called Mr. Review. I'm on his page now, Mr. Reviewdle, because he reviews noodles.
I love that. That is really good. That's clever. I like it. But so what's my favourite noodles?
Yeah, what's your favourite noodles?
I'm not a big noodle lover, to tell you the truth. Do I have to pick like a flavoured pot noodle? Or?
I guess. Like, I don't think you have to pick a flavour. Like, he's got a bunch of noodles on his page.
What's the different type of... There's like ramen noodles, that's all I know. What else? What other kind of noodles are there?
Pot noodles, super noodles. Like, I don't know.
Actually, I tell you what. I don't know if it counts, but there's this thing like a Jewish delicacy, a thing called noodle kugel, which they sell at like a lot of Jewish delis in New York, which is a dessert, and it's made out of like some kind of noodle, and it's like baked. It's almost feels a bit like a bread pudding, but with noodles, which sounds a bit rank. But I love it's like the word noodle, and then I think it's Koogle or Kugle. I don't know, but that's my favourite by a mile. Not had it in ages.
Right, so last question. This is the last one from Instagram account. Lauren is a bad person. At Lauren is a bad person. If you could pee your favourite beverage, would you drink it? brackets, soup is included.
Well, where's your head at? The camera's just gone. But
We're on this one then. You're down.
where's your head at? I mean, if it had not been filtered through my kidneys, meaning it contained lots of bodily waste, if I was literally just peeing out, like one of my favorite, my favorite beverage, I think, especially after this trip, is I think probably like a sweet tea. They have it like in the south everywhere.
Yeah, iced tea.
Or like A&W root beer. I love that as well. If I could pee that out and it was like untouched by the contact with my organs, it just tasted like that. Yeah, I probably would drink it. What's it like? So we have a continuous supply of plentiful liquid. So
Pretty
I drink
much,
it and I pee and I drink.
Bear Grylls drinks his own piss anyway. So like,
That's
if
actual piss.
Yeah, it's actual piss. So if you could have something you enjoyed,
Yeah, totally.
apple juice, whatever. Yeah. How long's this podcast? Yeah.
Christ Almighty.
1 hour 15.
Okay, now.
It wasn't that long. I thought it feels like longer.
Yes, because we had a A&W root beer piss break in between. Man, that's been a good. I quite enjoyed that. Went some deep places, which I didn't expect from the Q&A from the audience that we only put out like a last minute.
I like the questions that like aren't really about eating. You know,
Yeah.
they're a bit more. I know that's what people generally want to know, but they're a bit more. They make you think, don't they?
Absolutely.
I'm still going to think about who I want as my favorite guest, alive or dead. So I'm not entirely sure I'd land on Martin Luther King. I want it to just sound like an intellectual, I think. But maybe I'd think about someone else. I don't know.
I would like, if you look at like current creators, I'd really like to meet Peter McKinnon. I think, or Casey Neistat.
I don't think I would because of what we said before.
And we have said, like part of me don't want to ever meet it, but part of me kind of does want to have that conversation.
I'd love to say to him like, all right, guys, I like your videos. You know,
Yeah.
so that's the experience of gratitude because I know what that feels like for me when people say I love your videos. I think I quite like that. But yeah, I feel like you always say, like if you meet people that you like, you respect or whatever, that sometimes you can. But I think I have the common sense that if I meet Pete McKinnon, right, he's sat here right now and he's not interested in me, I probably just think he's having a bad day. I wouldn't judge him for it.
No.
So I suppose there's that. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't not want to meet him. I suppose, especially Casey, who's a fucking legend.
Rock and roll. Well, I mean, yeah, we'll put this back to you, then the audience. What guest would be the perfect guest you'd like to see us idiots talk to? Like, put it in the comments on the YouTube video.
We haven't had that. We haven't had any. Oh no, we had Mrs. Beard. I was going to say we haven't had any female guests.
We can drop an exclusive. We are having Kate Owens. She's coming up.
Oh yeah.
So
Just people ask for that.
if that's in your space, eating and
I don't know
YouTube
what
videos.
I don't know what we're going to chat about.
Probably eating
Food.
YouTube
Have to get
videos.
some food in, I suppose. Yeah.
That's it, mate. That's another one in the bag.
We should say as well, leave it if you want to see like a Q&A round 2, we could maybe make it a bit, not a regular thing in that like every week, but we could maybe do one every couple of months or something.
Yeah,
If you've got more stuff to ask. I don't know.
Fire away. You look at that camera, it's
Yeah, I don't know why.
It's gone,
just
mate.
a habit.
We're on this camera
It's a
now.
habit. If you have any questions, drop it down in the comments and yeah, we'll maybe do another one.
All right. Thank you very much. Catch you on the next one. Peace.